Hello, you're welcome to ABC News Highlights. My name is Golda Abahdai.
And my name is Nana Kwame Brobe.
As usual, when you see us on your screens, we're bringing you news from the country, the continent, and across the globe. On to our first story for the day. So, media personality Serwaa Amihere has been getting a lot of heat for the last 2 days. So, she went on Twitter to air her displeasure because some choristers from Action Center were wearing some outfits that she believes is the intellectual property of her, brand. I think it's called Office and Co. So she went on Twitter and she said, "This is my intellectual property, Action Worship Center. Your choristers stole my design, something I am selling. That is wickedness, pure wickedness." And this is the age of the internet. So people came back with receipts and showed her that she is not the original owner of the design and that it is on Pinterest. Some argue that most of her designs come from Pinterest. So she issued an apology and she said, "Our claim to the IP rights in the Celine dress is insufficient. This resulted from a gap which we have identified in our internal IP assurance procedures. We have since taken decisive steps to improve our mechanism for avoiding IP violations. To affirm our commitment to respecting IP rights, we have removed the Celine dress from our clothing line. Additionally, we are by this publication recalling the Celine dress. Also, we feel obliged to apologize to Action Worship Center for the embarrassment that our claims has caused them. We wish to reassure our esteemed customers of our deep commitment to offering a superior quality and style option of globally competitive women's office clothing and accessories." So, Nana, when you say that something is your intellectual property, especially when it comes to, the fashion scene, you have to have proof of maybe, designing the outfit
Yes.
from scratch. I don't know whether you're supposed to register this under your brand. You have to have proof of all those things. And I don't believe that she has those.
Yes, I obviously she doesn't. But I think to me, what is glaring is she's apologizing for claiming the IP rights to the dress. But she has not hinted on the fact that that was idea theft,
Okay, so it doesn't belong to
intellectual
her too.
theft. The same thing she was calling out somebody
For
without mercy and without grace is what she's guilty of. And this is not just a mistake in your IP validation system because it is my intellectual property means I designed this. We designed this. You are bearing witness to the fact that you saw the design come to life.
if you
And
did not,
why would you say it's your intellectual property?
I think this is one of the reasons why people, started talking, and some made the argument that most of her clothes from her brand are not, you know, her intellectual property. They're on Pinterest.
And oh, mind you, this is not even like just a recent issue or phenomenon in the fashion world. Fast fashion is known for knocking off reputable big brands like Balenciaga. All these people, you see Shane versions, you see Fashion Nova versions, but then Fashion Nova cannot come out and now claim that their idea has been stolen because they know what they do and they're sort of knockoff brands. So I'm just saying, I think if you know what you're doing, and it's not just a Celine dress, because people are now insinuating and putting up evidence to say,
Exactly, that's the problem. So maybe some of her designs may be her intellectual property, but because of this, people are going to question whether now everything that comes from your brand actually belongs to you.
well, so I think the lesson to take from this is to all fashion designers or even creatives out there, before you claim ownership to anything being your intellectual property, maybe really check with your IP validation system, whatever she said in that press statement. But you let us know what you think in the comment section. Somebody also shared something I found very funny. The person was like, the dress is 2,000 Ghana cedis.
I saw that.
And it's more financially conscious for them to get it done by a tailor or something. But hey, guys, it was truly her hard work. It is her hard work, and she deserves whatever money she think is worth So yes, I don't even agree with that argument. But yes, let us know what you think in the comment section right there as we move on to our next story. So we reported, I think earlier this week, that the Asantehene Otumfuo Tutu has taken up a new mandate or has renewed his mandate to bring the Asante Kingdom back to its glory days by checking money conscious or money misled kings, well, or chiefs. In that same development and in the action of the mandate, the Asante Hino Otumfuo Tutu has summoned one of the sub chiefs, Kwapra Hene Bafo Edujemfi Kumani, to appear before him in 2 weeks or consider abdicating the throne. Exactly. He should consider himself sacked, chieftaincy title stripped, privileges and benefits all taken away from him. And this is on the back of double sales of lands and a violation of the great Asante oath, Otumfuo Ntamkesia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so in a video that has surfaced where he was speaking at speaking during a council at the Menshia Palace, he's seen saying, Kwapra knows why I'm looking for him. He knows I'm looking for him because of the land issue. That's why he's dodging me with the excuse of sickness. He thinks he's smarter. Go and bring him. I will not take any excuse from him. When he was a young boy, he sold my land without giving me my money. I forgave him. You see, the issue has returned to me, he stated. On the deadline, he also added, in 2 weeks, if he doesn't show up, he should abdicate the throne and all the elders under him are also sacked. Just 2 weeks, whatever his condition is, or maybe he should show up. He also led a caution to the elders and said, and you, the elders too, I've always cautioned you against his excesses and that you should caution him to change his ways, but you have failed.
So in such a situation, can this go to court?
The council, as I mentioned, there's a judiciary system in the Asante chieftaincy system.
Okay.
Or so you go there. That's why you can try cases at the palace. Okay. So in any case of land dispute, family dispute, you can take it to the Asante kingdom or the Asante palace, and the king will sort of like be judge over it. So yes, all I think not just Asante, all the other tribes or other ethnic groups have chieftaincy systems in their judiciary systems in their chieftaincy dynamics. So yes, it will go to him. He is the sovereign lord of the kingdom and of the land. So in any case, he decides what the judgment will be.
I see. It looks like he's taking this, putting things in order very seriously.
Right.
And do let us know what you think about, his new mandate. All right. So Okujato Ablakwa is not very happy, and he's calling out the Minister for Sanitation and Resources, Frida Prempeh. So the Member of Parliament for North Tongu, Samuel Okujato Ablakwa, is furious about recent comments by Sanitation Minister Frida Prempeh that residents of Mipe refused to relocate after several warnings by the Volta River Authority and the National Disaster Management Organization. At a forum organized by the Ghana Water Company Limited in Accra, Madam Frida Prempeh blamed residents in the Lower Volta area for failing to move to a higher ground as advised. The minister indicated that residents in the affected areas were given extensive education prior to the Akosombo Dam spillage, which was ignored and has now resulted in the catastrophic outcome we have on our hands. So the MP Samuel Okujato Ablakwa reacted angrily to the comment, saying that the affected people should be treated with respect. I'm quoting. He said, "We are distressed, we are depressed, and we are devastated, and they should stop these things because it is getting on our nerves. We have had enough of their blatant lies. She should tell us when, and she should give us dates when they came here. I mean, does she know what she's talking about? Where did they say the people should move to and they refused? The people were here more than 200 years before the dam was constructed." So he says that the Minister for Sanitation and Resources should bring proof of her saying that the people were advised to move to higher ground, and whether or not they made, provision for, the higher ground for them.
I think it is important that he's asked that, because I think when we talked about the story here when the spillage first happened, we talked about how the VRA had already released a press statement weeks ago saying that they should take precautionary measures as taking actions to control the spillage upstream. That was all. And the next time they heard anything about this supposed spillage or controlling it, it was the flood. So there's not been any public evidence of this supposed action by VRA, NADMO, as the minister said. So we would like to see, provide the evidence, one. And also, I find it quite insensitive to say that about victims who are battling displacement, loss of property, loss of businesses and investment,
hunger,
sickness, and everything encompassing that is coming from this disaster, and to blame them because they didn't move when you supposedly asked them to move. Now, it is reported that the government has spent around over 20 million to sort of like for relief items and to help the displaced people. Why couldn't we have done that? Use that same money, allocated resources to taking these people from where they were to a better place. Now that there is a need, you are spending the money. And in her comments, she also talked about how now government has to spend money as if the victims are causing loss to the public purse.
It kind of sounds like they're doing them a favor.
Yes.
Well, the MP has responded for them, and we would like to hear what she has to say. I hear she's saying that what she said was taken out of context, but looking at the situation, well, do let us know what you think in the comments.
Exactly.
Now, on to our last story for the day. So, former Supreme Court Judge Justice Atuguba is criticizing the Supreme Court on the Jachikwesin case. So, delivering a lecture today, Justice Atuguba said Article 99 of the 1992 Constitution had preserved post-parliamentary election matters to the High Court with appeal at Court of Appeal, and therefore the Supreme Court had no legal basis to entertain the action. He said the decision by the Supreme Court in the Jachikwesin case meant that the apex court had a concurrent jurisdiction over parliamentary election petition for the High Court, which was alien to the 1992 Constitution. According to him, since parliamentary elections were held in over 200 constituencies, the 1992 Constitution could not have envisaged that post-parliamentary election matters should be adjudicated by a centralized court such as the Supreme Court. Now, he's saying that they have basically no business handling the Jachikwesin case, and there was not a reason for, getting involved and nullifying his MP position that, he won during 2020 or 21, my apologies.
But it has happened, hasn't it?
It has.
And I believe it is in your constitutional right to have been involved.
He's saying that per the 1992 Constitution, the Supreme Court does not have the jurisdiction to be involved.
So this interpretation of that law was not brought up during the whole process, during the initial sense of intervention from the Supreme Court. Well, let us know what you think. And yes, you're supposed to close and let that be our last story, but there's one that is too juicy, so we're just going to top it up for you guys. So number one, ever since the defunct gold dealership firm Men's Gold was made to cease operation, Ghanaians who had their money locked up in this firm were complaining. Demonstrations were made. Demands were made, demonstrations happened.
People died.
People were literally fighting for their money back. And years after, whilst the case is still in court, reports were making rounds that Nana Appiah Mensah has released 5 million Ghana cedis to the Ghana Police Service to disburse to its customers who have their money locked up in the firm. Well, new development is that the Ghana Police Service has deposited 2.5 million of that said money into a bank account at Bank of Ghana. Upon hearing this, Nam1 was definitely not taking it lightly and said he'll go back for his money. Yes, Namwan said he's going to go back for his money because that wasn't the deal and that wasn't the plan.
Okay, so what's the rest of it, the 5 million?
Well, we would like to hear, but then only 2.5 million was put in Bank of Ghana, and which has angered him. He doesn't get why that wasn't the plan, and I understand his sentiments. And naturally, many people understand his sentiments because I think it only makes it more levels of bureaucracy. Because how are these people going to get it?
True.
There's the police in, there's the Bank of Ghana involved. We don't know how it's going to happen, but we hope people, if your money's there, our sympathy and our feelings go out to you. We hope you get your money. And yes, we will still bring you any new development concerning the men's gold money reimbursement to customers. And that is how we wrap up today. It's been ABC News Highlights. My name is Nana Kwame Brobe.
My name is Golda Abadai. For more details, please visit abcnewsgh.com or social media handles abcnewsgh_. See you.